Hi there, my name's Tony Ruby. I live and work in and around the Grantham area. Going to be Hillfoot for me is home, and Grantham is the town that we do our shopping in, do our business in. And I think at these times when I've got a bit of time on my hands, it was also interesting to hear from people about locals who are going above and beyond in these very uncertain and unusual times. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by the very bubbly and vivacious Mrs. Gill Marshall, who is a resident of the Wroxall Drive area of Grantham. How are you, Gill?
I'm really well, thanks, Tony. Yes, nice to talk to you.
You too, and you're looking fantastic, I've got to say. Looks like you've had a good weekend and the weather's been pretty good as well, hasn't it, in the main?
Absolutely brilliant, hasn't it? Especially for the VE day, so that was good.
Definitely. So tell me a little bit about what you've been doing over the last 6 or 8 weeks or so.
Well, I've lived in the bungalow for 6 years now, and I'm always walking up and down the street saying hi to people because I've got dogs, so I walk. And when we were starting to talk about COVID, even before the lockdown, I was worried. I wasn't worried just for me, I was worried for the people on the street who actually had nobody.
Yeah.
Old people, people that are disabled, that had nobody. And the Saturday before lockdown, I put out some leaflets, and this is something everybody can do with their neighbours. Just put out some little leaflets, they're only little, look, and little things, and pop them through the doors. I actually put rubber gloves on and used, and that was even before lockdown. And then once I put them through, a couple of people said, can we do some on High Meadow, because there's a lot of bungalows there. So we included St Helens Close, Wroxall Drive, and High Meadow. Yeah. So we were then, because I asked for help, I said, if anybody would like to help in this situation, please let me know. So we made a WhatsApp group.
Okay.
And the amount of offers of help was unbelievable.
Wow.
There were a lot of people that were obviously old and concerned that phoned me. So the first few days were really, really busy.
Yeah.
Of course, we had the toilet roll issue and the flour issue, which we've still got. Any baking things we've got. So what we did on the Wednesday, which was, it was locked down on the Tuesday, on the Wednesday, we put out these leaflets to put in people's doors. So that's the side where they need help. And this one says, we're doing fine, thank you for checking. And we've got, there's 4 of us that are into, that walk dogs, that go around and just check that everybody's green. If they're red, what I'll do is I'll give them a ring, make sure they're okay. If you can't get hold of them, knock on the door.
Right, okay.
It's all very safe. So, so without the team, without the others in the street, I don't know if I could have managed it myself.
Who were the people who helped you? Who were the people who put their hand up and said, yeah, I'd love to get involved?
All neighbours, all people on the street.
Yeah.
So people who weren't 70, the people that were going to go out shopping anyway. And what it did was, it made it safe for all of us, because I go out once a week, whereas sometimes you're nipping here and there because you've forgotten something. And you find that, you know, everybody else just goes out once a week. When they go out, they put a note on WhatsApp and say, you know, I'm going to Aldi or whatever, anybody want anything? So it actually reduces the amount of people going out.
Yeah, yeah.
So we organise everybody's shopping. So if anybody wants shopping, there was one couple, she says, I'm really sorry, she says, obviously both vulnerable. She says, I'm so sorry, she says, but I can't go and collect I thought we were going to have an Asda shop delivered, and it's going to be click and collect. And I said, no problem. So we did that a couple of times. I think she's probably got it sorted now. But just things like that, that people would what would they normally do? So, they've got their phone number, it just ring up. So, yeah, we still got a problem with getting flour and things. So if anybody wants any, they put it on the WhatsApp and we get it as soon as possible. We've also got a chap across the road who is wonderful. He works at Morrison's overnight, and if anything comes in that we're short of, he buys it and then distributes it. So from that point of view, it's fantastic. We get people's prescriptions for them.
Yes.
And I volunteered on the local council, which anybody can do. Volunteer in your local council, and if there's anybody in your area needs a prescription, they ring me up, give me their details, and then from there they contact you, which is brilliant.
Is that one of the 250,000 volunteers they were looking for? Are you one of those that had something like 500,000? Yeah.
I have no idea. I just volunteered.
Just volunteered. Well, you'd certainly doing your bit, aren't you? And well, say your bit. It sounds like you're taking a massive slice on there. But it's great to hear that there was so much appreciation and receptiveness from locals to help out as well. And the red-green thing's quite inspired, isn't it? It's so simple, but yet gives people, I suppose, that assurance that if they can't get hold of anybody, they can just turn their card round to red and somebody will notice.
Yes, and somebody will ring them. So yes, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, my immediate neighbour has been into hospital, and we were all very worried about him. And since he's come out, once a day he gets a meal. One of us cooks him a meal. So that will go on until Friday, and then he says he'll probably be fine after that.
Oh.
But we were just relieved that he got back out of hospital, really. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do. And obviously this weekend's been a very special weekend, a commemorative weekend. Lots been talked about, celebration, but also memoriam as well of those who gave all they did for our freedom as we know it now. What were you planning for the weekend that's just passed?
Well, on the Friday, we decided that we were going to have an afternoon tea, socially distancing on the street. And it was from 4 till 6. And some people didn't go to bed till 11 o'clock because it was just, the weather was fantastic. We had bunting up. It was also to celebrate a little girl's birthday, a 2-year-old. So we sort of socially distanced, stood and sang happy birthday at 6 o'clock for her. And everybody was just, it was amazing. Yeah. So, and I took my little dog for a walk up the street to check everybody was okay, and they were all out really enjoying it.
Having a great time by the sound of it. It certainly was a beautiful day for weather-wise, wasn't it? It's certainly better Friday, Saturday than it has been the last day or so. And that must have helped no end. So you had people sat on their driveways eating sandwiches and toasting the occasion, did you?
Absolutely, yes. And lots of bunting, lots of balloons, lots of music out loud. So all the 40s music. And we all sang with Vera Lynn at 9 o'clock. We all came back out again if we'd gone in. Some of them, as I say, hadn't gone in. But they came out again and we sang with Vera Lynn.
Sure. So when did you start planning that then? What did the sort of run up to that look like?
Oh, quite quick. It doesn't take long. In fact, it's World Cocktail Day on Wednesday. So I'm sure something will happen on Wednesday.
Yes, indeed. Well, it sounds like a fantastic place to live. And those who don't know Wroxall Drive area, you drive down Wroxall Drive off Newport Avenue, and your right-hand side is predominantly, in fact, I think it's all bungalows, isn't it? 7 detached bungalows all the way down to the end, which almost joins up with Dysart Road, doesn't it, at the end of Westbourne Place. And on the left-hand side, as you drive down, is predominantly semi-detached. And I think some detached houses, but family houses typically. So quite a mix of people. Did everybody get involved in families and the older generation?
And now there were quite a few of the older generation on the right-hand side. Not as many, because it's mainly the helpers that are on the group that know all the information.
Yeah, yeah.
And the helpers then sort of spread it to the immediate people. So we've got some people that help on High Meadow, some people that help. So it was all of us that were involved. But I think it does help because it's a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Because nobody can get out up Westbourne Place. We included Westbourne Place as well in our sort of initial leaflet dropping. So.
Sure. Well, it sounds to me like you've done some wonderful things for your local area. And, you know, I think if there's anything that we can take out of this, what is obviously a very difficult time, is that things like the community connection that we've now built with everybody continues and is a sort of a remaining reminder, if you like, of the tough times we've been through over the last 6 or 8 weeks and however long it may continue for.
Well, it's brought a whole community together here. And there's people on this street that have never spoken to their neighbours until now. And so from that point of view, and somebody said about VE Day, they said, oh, wouldn't it have been fantastic if we hadn't been in lockdown? And I said, but would it? Because now we're a community, whereas before we were disjointed.
Yes.
So, you know, and the other thing is as well, every time we get a little bit down or whatever, we're looking forward to our street party that we're having on the field at the back.
Yeah.
After all this is
yeah, sounds great. Sounds fantastic. Well, I think the motto sort of "together stronger" goes a long way, and I think it's definitely the case, isn't it? And like you said, I think if we hadn't been in the situation we're in right now, VE Day might have passed as a little bit of a whimper, been important to some, but maybe not the younger generation. And for me, actually, the younger generation need to be inspired to carry these celebrations on in the future, because otherwise they could and can die out, and that would be a real shame. But Gill, I thank you very much for your time today. I know you're a busy lady, and I really appreciate you giving me a bit of time this morning. So thank you very much. And I look forward to hopefully catching up with you at some point once this is all over.
Thank you very much, Tony. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.